Hey guys, KIRAKIRA PRECURE is almost over and this ending is being so powerful and so strong. I am really impressed. So let's talk about episode 46, this week's episode. This week also brought us our first look at Hakuto Precure and our first look at Precure Superstars, the next All-Stars movie that's going to air in 2018. I'm going to talk about them later after I talk about the episode itself. So this episode is still part of that batch of episodes of character-driven stories. So in this episode, we had a little focus on Ichika, but the interesting part is Ichika didn't receive an episode all to herself. She receives like half of the episode focusing a little bit on her, but I still think that the story was trying to move on. So we've had lots of things going on in this episode. I think this episode was probably the richest episode out of every single KIRAKIRA Precure episodes in terms of character development, in terms of fighting, not fighting, but we've had lots of action, in terms of story and in terms of relationships between the characters. So first we started this episode in a very nice scene between the girls. So we have 6 girls and we've had like kind of different duos of girls talking about their relationships. So first we had Ichika and Himari talking a little bit about them and how much Himari grew since that little girl and how Ichika pulled her up and made her go and search for her dreams and search for herself. And it was a quest on finding Himari, right? So I really loved that dialogue between both of them and how Himari grew after getting to know Ichika, after becoming a Precure and after talking with the other girls and making friends with the other girls. The other duo was very interesting as well, which was Yukari and Aoi. I loved their talks, and I loved how Aoi looked at Yukari and said, "Oh my god, you're such a cat." And I love the word that she used, which is kimagure. Kimagure means moody, and I really relate to that word in my life, and I think that word is also perfect to describe Yukari. But Yukari also praised Aoi a lot because Aoi is a very strong-willed person and Yukari loves that in Aoi, and it was so nice. Aoi's reaction was so nice. And the last duo was oh my god, Akira and Ciel. So they obviously talked a little bit about Miku and about Akira's decision to become a doctor. So she's going to university and she decided a little bit about her future. And all this talk was about their future selves and what they're going to do. They all have some kind of mottos. They all found something they want to do in the future, except for Ichika. So it was her birthday, so it was a very special day for her, so her mother's here. And she had a very nice talk with her mother and her father. And I loved that scene so much because Ichika doesn't really know what to do with her life, and that's something that we all go through. Most of us go through. But her mother told her that she's making sweets. She's happy making sweets right now, so she doesn't need anything else. She doesn't need anything. She's happy like this. She's making other people happy. She doesn't need to think about anything else right now. And her father told her, when I was your age, I spent my days enjoying life. That's such a great thing. I mean, Ichika's so young, she doesn't really need to focus that much on her future. And I think that if parents would think like that and talk like that to their children, I think that maybe the pressures that we suffer when we're younger, when we're teenagers, would be a little easier to go through. You know, this hard thing about deciding your future would be way easier if we had parents like that. I mean, I can't talk for everyone, but I would love to have listened to that back then, you know. And it was a very nice thing. So then we had a little party after that with all of the characters and very nice scenes, little touches here and there, lots of biburi. I love biburi, you guys know that. And Noir, we had, oh my god, I forgot to talk about Noir. Noir and Elisio, they fused, and we've had a little revelation about who Elisio really is. Elisio is part of Noir. So Elisio is not someone who Noir recruited. He is part of Noir, and then we get more explanations later on in the episode. And then Noir attacked the party that they were going to have right when Ichika was going to blow her candles. That was such a strong metaphor, I think. Like that was the moment in which she was going to embrace herself. She was going to, embrace her dreams, and then bam, he came and stole all of that from her. And it was interesting because Noir was doing nothing those past episodes, and we were complaining a lot about that, but it was a very smart move on his part. He was storing power, while Elysia was doing all the work, while Grave was doing the work, while Diable was doing the work, and he was able to store lots and lots of power so that he was able in this episode to contaminate the whole world. And he was starting to fight the Cures. The start of the fight was very nice because we've had the Cures doing lots of different things. I love when KIRAKIRA PRECURE does that. Chocolat creating the stairs, Macaron using the macarons that she does so that it works as platforms for the girls to attack. But obviously it didn't work. We knew it wouldn't work. But then Noir, being as strong as he is, he defeated the girls easily, but then someone came to help, which was Lumiere. Cure Lumiere appeared, a fragment of her soul appeared, and we learned a lot about Lumiere's and Noir's past. We learned that Noir met Lumiere back then, and their story goes back. I mean, we knew they fought, but we didn't know that they had a story there. Both of them, they had something going on, and I feel like it was a very sad story. So Noir was someone, he was a human, and he was someone who probably fought in lots of wars, and he was someone who was very jaded towards life. He couldn't see anything good about life itself, so he was a very sad person. And then he went to Strawberry Hill, and then he met Lumiere there. Lumiere was trying to help him. He was very tired. He couldn't even walk. He was fainting. She helped him through her sweets, and her sweets were bringing emotions from him. She could even light a little bit of KIRAKIRA from him, and she was able to make him reflect and think about things. Noir tried making sweets, but he had the same problem Picario had back then. He tried to do them, but he wasn't successful. All of his sweets turned gray because he has no emotion, no good emotion inside him. So he couldn't transmit that to the sweets. And that was sad. I feel that it was very sad because, when you think about someone who fought lots of battles in his life, and because of that, he becomes totally, he stops believing in humanity. He stops believing in good things. That's a very sad thing. And so I think that the explanation behind Noir's story was very powerful. Noir then met Lumiere, and then they started building a kind of a relationship. Lumiere tried to teach him how to do sweets, obviously to no success, but she promised that she would make him smile. And then he couldn't do it. He couldn't evolve. And obviously she was the one that he was looking upon because he found in her some relief. She was helping him, she was cooking for him, she was making sweets for him, and he found in her a little warmth and probably a little humanity. So I guess that he went all in, and that part when he asked her, he told her that he wanted her all to himself. He wanted her to cook only for him. That can be a metaphor for so many things, but I think that what he meant is like, let's get married and I want to have you all to myself. So that was probably a way to make a marriage proposal, especially in Japan. And I think that obviously she was scared. She didn't want that. She liked to cook for everyone, and she had a mission, right, to take care of the people of Strawberry Hill. And because of that, all of that dark power that was stored inside him made him become Noir. And then he started terrorizing people, and he started, doing lots of things to people in Strawberry Hill, and she became Cure Lumiere to defend the place. So she feels like she's responsible in a way because she wasn't able to make him smile. I just can't with this kind of responsibility. She's not responsible at all for anything, so I really can't relate to that. And I don't think that Lumiere should feel responsible in any way. But anyway, I think that it was a very nice way to explore Noir's side. It was a very nice way to explore his reasons how to become a villain. And now he's way more believable than he was before because we knew nothing about him. And when Noir was fighting, he took away his heart and he put on all of the dark feelings that he had inside his heart, so then he created Eliseo. Eliseo is a minion, but at the same time he is part of Noir, but he only has those dark feelings. So Eliseo is a very powerful villain, and after learning this story, the Cures felt that they should help Lumiere and they should also help Noir in a way. And then they started fighting again. The Cures were very strong. They were able to get back on their feet and fight against Noir. It was very nice. It was a very nice scene. Very simple when it comes to fighting. It was very simple, but it was very nice. And that effect, when Noir was being attacked by the Cures, and then time stopped, and Eliseo came out of Noir, I was like, no, you're not gonna do that. Oh my god, I was shocked because I was not expecting it. But Noir was getting his humanity back somehow. After talking to the Cures, after talking to Lumiere, he was getting his humanity back. He was attacked, and Eliseo appeared from inside him. It was very nice. Eliseo with his hair down. His hair was not in a braid like it usually is. His gray hair down like that, and then he just picked Noir's power and turned Noir into a card. But if that wasn't enough, he also turned Lumiere into a card. And I'm gonna be really honest with you guys. This villain is relentless, and that's what I love about a villain. A relentless villain with no feelings, and a very strong one, a very powerful one, just like him. Eliseo, you are amazing, and you're bringing so many nice things to us, because the last part of the episode broke my heart. It really broke my heart, because now we live in a world with no feelings, and it's going to connect to our next episode with the amazing Cure Precure. I'm so excited to see that. Let's cut the talk about episode 46 now, because I want to talk a little bit about Hagto. We saw the trailer, and the trailer was amazing. I really loved the trailer. Very lively characters, full of expression, full of colors. I loved it. I loved what we saw from the Cures. I thought that in this first trailer we were going to see Curiel only, but no, we saw all the three of them. And just a little bit of observation that I want to make. The lipstick makes them look really older. Cure Brittany, Cure Etoile, she looks like a mom to me when she's transformed. And Homare, in her human form, she looks badass. She looks badass. I loved that. And we saw very little, but I loved how she looked. But all of them, they looked amazing. Hana is going to be an amazing character, an amazing main character, I'm sure of it. And Precure Superstars, we didn't see much. We couldn't see much. So I can't say anything about it. I really can't put my finger on if it's going to be a good season or it's going to be a good All-Stars movie or not. But Mahotsukai, KIRAKIRA, and Hagto, those three seasons, those teams are amazing. They're all amazing teams. I loved the teams as a whole, so I think this movie is going to be great. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Sorry for the long video, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.